Hello, it's me again, your boy. Um, it is, what is it? June 15th, 2020 at 4:55 a.m. I have been up for about 26 hours now, give or take. Um, I'm not sleepy. I decided to watch the new Pokemon series that just premiered called Pokemon Journeys the series. And it started with like a young Ash and like a Pikachu who was a Pichu, but it was like Ash's Pikachu. And I was like, oh, okay, this is like a reboot, like we're retelling the story. And then, like, the end of the episode, they were like, and then they grew up and went on lots of adventures together. And here we are now. And I was like, oh, it's not a reboot. We're doing all that stuff. And I have not watched a Pokemon anime in a long time, besides bits and pieces here and there. Um, I have not watched anything of Sun and Moon except for parts of the episode where Misty and Brock came back because OG. Um, and let me tell you, this new series, they have made Ash insufferable. Like, he was dumb and annoying in the original, but this is painful to watch. And then they've given him a companion who's equally, like, arrogant and annoying, and I'm only on episode 2, man, and I don't know if I can do this. There's a cute, like, girl companion. I don't think she's, like, primary companion. I don't know what her plan is, but, like, I like her okay. She's got a cute dress with an anchor on it. But, like, okay. So, like, Ash and his mom went with Professor Oak to this opening of a new research lab by cute new girl's dad in Vermilion City. All right? Professor Oak has a convertible, by the way. And, which is cool. And he was like, and the new professor is like, deet, 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 on his computer, which is like, appeared out of nowhere. Like, it's this holographic computer thing. He's like the keyboard just like comes up where he types and he just like waves the lasers and stuff away. I was like, oh my god. Like, I don't know how old Ash is, but he did not age much from 10, and let me tell you, his world has come a long way from the clunky CRTV video phones they were using back in his day. Like, those were like high tech in the day too. Like, I remember being like, wow, maybe someday we can have video phones, and now we all do, and nobody uses it. I mean, I guess we use it for like Zoom and stuff now because like quarantine, but like if I'm calling my mom, I don't FaceTime her unless I have something specific to show her. I don't even call her unless I have to. Like, I text everybody but my grandma, which is interesting, you know? Like, growing up thinking that I always thought, like, video phones would be so cool. It's the future, man. And then when we get the technology to do that, not only just, like, because you still had to, like, go to a phone booth to do the video call or, like, to sit at a little computer. Like, I can pull it out of my phone no matter where in the world I am and do this, and we don't do it. Like, I'm sure there are lots of people who do it. Like, I feel like my age we probably don't do it much, but I could be wrong. Like, me and my friends don't. But there's like this technology that I thought would be so revolutionary as a kid, and I have it, and I only use it in like special occasions. That's my alarm. It's 5. The Tales of the Abyss theme. I used it as my town tune for Animal Crossing New Leaf, so I have it set to play here too. What was I saying? But I thought it was going to be so like revolutionary as a kid, and we only use it for like very special occasions. special occasions. Like if my mom wants to show me like the progress on the pool we just got built, or something like that, or if she's like showing me something in a store, or if Anthony can't find something, so he's carrying the phone around so I can look for it, and I find it in the exact spot I told him it was. But like, I don't know. So anyway, but they're like way past that. They're living in freaking like 2164 or something over there, and because this is just like holograms freaking everywhere, and like so nice. And like he had like a holograph like iPad too, that he could show somebody what was on his iPad and like something else up on the screen, but they would just vanish. Like, but anyway, he's like, hey, the weather conditions are right that like we might see a rare Pokemon appear over Vermilion Bay in like 20 minutes. And so everyone's like, whoa, and like they go and they run towards Vermilion Bay, and of course Ash does too. He like runs into a Snorlax. I've paused it like very soon, so I don't even know if Ash got there in time. But like new kid whose name is Go, by the way, so he's Pokemon Go. That was a weird naming choice. Like, we've known he's been named Go for a long time, but like it's like GOH, but still. And he's there because he was waiting, because he was like, oh, I know this rare Pokemon, because I think it sounds like his thing is like he wants to catch them all. Like Professor Oak was like, Ash, do you still want to be a Pokemon master? And Ash is like, yeah, and I'm going to do it with Pikachu, because that's who Ash is as a person. But then this guy, he's like, gotta catch them all. Like, he actually wants to do it. Like, this just came out. Like, this is Sword and Shield generation. That's so many Pokemon. Like, it's not 1,000, like it's over 1,000 if you count like getting all the different forms and like regional variants and shit. If you don't, then it's not, but still, it's a lot of Pokemon. And like, okay, so like props to him. I mean, I have it, but that's a lie. I don't have Melmetal, because that is a freaking chore. And I should get Melmetal. I keep forgetting about that, but I will do that thing. I need to like, I know what I need to do. I just need to do it. It'll take a while, but I can get it done. So anyway, but I can only do it because like I just transfer my decks over every gen. Like my Blaziken Angel from Ruby turned 17 years old in March. My friend Willa didn't turn 17 until June. Like, this Blaziken is 3 months older than my human friend, which is amazing, honestly. If I'm being completely honest, it's like the coolest thing in the world. And so anyway, let's go back to this episode. I'm less than 10 minutes into this second episode. The first episode was just like this backstory, which is like, maybe I should just like have sat down and like done a review or something. Like, I don't think I'm posting this on Facebook. Maybe, or not on Facebook, like YouTube. Like, maybe I will. I don't know. No one's gonna watch it anyway. I might as well keep it somewhere safe so that I can watch it in 10 years and be like, this is what I was. Here I am. Been up for too many hours, man. Too many hours straight. I think I woke up at 3:30 a.m. last night, because I like went to bed at like 6. Oof. And so like Pikachu was a Pichu and was like sad and alone. And so then just like he gets like adopted by this Kangaskhan. So it's the Kangaskhan and the Kangaskhan baby and Pichu. And then like stayed with him for a while. I don't know how long. A while, enough that like Pichu got bigger, whatever, and noticed like that the Kangaskhan was having a hard time carrying them both. The Kangaskhan was having way too much trouble carrying a Pichu, a bonus Pichu. How much does a Pichu weigh? Well, we're gonna find out. Pichu weighs 4.5 pounds. Pichu weighs 4.5 pounds. Even like this was like it started as a tiny Pichu and like had him grow to show that he was like getting big and strong or whatever. So like even if we're like saying he's a big Pichu, like he's still probably only like 5 pounds. And Kangaskhan. No, I auto-corrected to kangaroo weight. Kangaskhan. Oh my god. Kangaskhan weight. 176 pounds. Pichu weighs at max 5. Keep in mind, it's not like he's like carrying him with his hand or anything. Like there is a pouch specifically made for Kangaskhan's to carry babies in. And like, yes, Kangaskhan has a baby in there, but it's just like if their baby was just 5 pounds heavier. Like, and so like, but the Kangaskhan's like, oh, he's like breathing hard and she's sweating. And Pichu tries to get out, and she's like, what the fuck you doing? Get back in my pouch. And everything. She's like, she's breathing hard, so hard to carry this extra 5 pounds. Like I don't carry my purse around. Like, I weigh like much less than 176 pounds. Like, but, like, my purse is probably 5 pounds. I carry that around all day. Like, I'll carry around my backpack, like, with my laptop and stuff in it, and my purse. There's my Kangaskhan baby and my Pichu. So anyway, in the dead of the night, Pichu decides that he's way too fat and he's ruining this family. And like, sneaks out in the middle of the night, and he's, like, crying and staring down at his, like, sleeping Kangaskhan family who he's lived with for this undisclosed amount of time. Like, and he just, and then he evolves, and I was like, oh, so like now he's a Pikachu, and I was like, okay, yeah, like they hadn't like explicitly said this was Ash's Pikachu, but I kind of like figured that out, and so he evolves into a Pikachu, and I was like, oh, okay, well now it's gonna be okay because he's not a baby, he's like an adult bodied Pikachu. The Kangaskhan doesn't need to carry him anymore, so he can continue to live with his family. Or at least, like, the Kangaskhan would be okay letting Pikachu go on his own. So, like, go wake up Kangaskhan, like Mama Kangaskhan and your, like, brother, who, like, you've had all these adventures with, like, I saw the montage, and be like, hey, look, I'm a grown-up now. I can choose my life. I can hang out with you peeps forever, or I can leave, whatever he wants to do. So they don't worry about him. But does Pikachu do that? No. He just fucking leaves. Like, this person who's been his mother for at least weeks. I know at one point there was a time skip where they said weeks later, but it might have been fucking years. Like, Ash was like 8 at the time. Or something. Like, it might have been 2 years. I might have missed something. From Ong, leave it in the comments below. If I actually put this on YouTube, that's gonna seem really stupid and not just like the joke I made myself. Nobody comment on this video. If you're watching, go away. I mean, unless you're like my husband or my child in the future, or me in the future, you can watch. But anyway, so like Pikachu just freaking leaves, and I'm just mad. I'm so mad. And like, why? This was your mom. Oh, like, she obviously cared so much about you. She fed you and took care of you for this time. Like, even if it had only been like 2 weeks or something, like, you don't just leave in the middle of the night. Like, I could see maybe running away when you were a Pichu and you thought you were doing what was best for her, because obviously, like, you're a dumb child and you know best. And like once you evolve, like, you evolved right there. Like, tell your mom. This just reminds me, like, I've been reading Percy Jackson. You know, I made a video earlier today. And, like, I posted on Facebook, you know, this idea this, not idea, this, like, comment I had, because I'm like, reading the book, and Percy's, like, he's thinking about who to call, because he's got some golden drachmas to, like, toss in the rainbow, and he's like, who should I call? Well, my mom just dropped me off on this journey, like, dropped me off, like, where my best friend was, like, calling for my help, and we had to get my mom get a ride there, and I told her not to wait because we'd find our own way home or whatever. And she knew we were gonna probably, like, fight a monster or something cool and heroic like that, but she probably won't worry about me for a couple of days. I don't need to worry about my mom. Like, let me call my like, well, he calls his brother, but, like, his brother, who's the like, Tyson, who's the Cyclops, who, like, is in the forges under the sea right now. He's not concerned about Percy's well-being any more than any other usual day that you're worried about the people you love well-being. Like, but Percy's mom dropped him off at, like, goddamn, like, sting operation or something, trying to find these half-bloods, knowing that he was responding to a cry for help, like an SOS signal. And he's like, meh, I don't need to call my mom. And I'm like, call your mom. I didn't have these thoughts when I read it back 11 years ago, but, like, call your mom, Percy. It's not hard. Like, and there's the whole thing, like, they can't use cell phones because their voice, like monsters can pick it up and know where they are. But he was at Camp Half-Blood anyway. Like, I guess he didn't have a phone, and it was really late at night. But, and, like, the place doesn't have a, like, landline. But there were, like, drachmas there for you specifically to call. Like, call your mom. She's worried. I promise you. And I guess that's just the, like, me getting older, because before I was like, yeah, adventure, don't have time to wait for anything. And now I'm just like, Percy, call your mother. Like, even in where we are in Last Olympian, where I left off, like, the monsters know where you are. Everyone knows where you are. They come in. Like, call your mom. She's worried about you. Last she heard of you, you tried to, you were like, hey, mom, can I have your blessing to go, like, try and, like, bathe my body in the river Styx and hope I don't die from it? And, like, burn my soul? And she was like, well, I guess I have to say yes. And then after he does this, okay, I've been thinking about this all day. After he does this, he calls Annabeth twice. Twice. And, like, the first time he didn't get a hold of her and left a message, and he was like, please bring all the half-bloods to New York or whatever. Like, it was an emergency, but, like, you could call your mom and say, hey, I didn't die in the underworld. Hades tried to kill me, but I made it, and now I'm invulnerable because I got that Achilles curse. Like, it would have been so easy. Just call your mom. Be like, Mom, I can't talk. Wanted you to know, like, I'm not dead. So that's a good thing. I know you've been worried about me for a long time. I know you're worried about me. I don't have time to talk, but I'm not dead. So there you go. Like, you have a cell phone. It's there. You already used it to call, so monsters know where you are. Like, you could, like, leave a 30-second voicemail for your mom to let her know you didn't die. Like, for shame, Percy. Your mom is a beautiful, wonderful woman who deserves who deserves so much more respect than that. It's, like, your fatal flaw, or whatever, like, is supposed to be, like, that you, like, care too much for your family and your friends and would sacrifice everything for them. You won't sacrifice 30 seconds of your goddamn time to call your mom. I call my mom always to tell her that I'm fine. I talk to my mom today. Like, I talk to her at least 3 times a week just to be like, hey, Mom, I haven't left my house in 4 months, but I'm still fine. Like, I haven't even got to the reason why I started making this video. So, Pokemon Professor, new professor guy. It starts with a C. I don't remember. It's a tree name. Cerise, maybe, like Cerise. something like that. He's like, new Pokemon's gonna, or like, rare Pokemon's gonna appear right here. And Professor Oak looks at his calculation. He's like, yeah, you're probably right. And then this new kid Go, he was already there because he had come to the same conclusion. Okay, and so because of this announcement, Ash was like, oh fuck, I gotta go. And so he takes off running, and the sun is coming up. I have seen 2 sunrises since I last slept. But anyway, so Ash takes off running. He's like, I want to be the first one to see the new Pokemon or whatever. And then everybody else takes off after him. Like, mind you, like, he was the only kid there. Like, everybody else is like people in business suits and they all just take off running or whatever. And so I haven't seen Ash there yet. I haven't seen Ash there yet. But I freaking saw what Pokemon appeared. Do you know what freaking Pokemon has just appeared out of the sky at a big storm cloud? Lugia. Like, the Lugia. And, like, all of these trainers just start, like, throwing their Pokemon at it. Like, being like, Squirtle used water gun on Lugia. Like, goddess of the sea, basically. Like, you don't need, like, what are you doing? And they're all attacking Lugia. Nothing is happening. And all I can think is, like, what is going on? Why is Lugia here? Like, why aren't you sleeping under the sea? Also, do you recognize Ash? And, like, I remember in the original anime, there was, like, some weird episode where there was, like, a baby Lugia. And I was like, fine, whatever. So we can even say that this is not the same Lugia from Pokemon 2000. But Ash would recognize Lugia, right? And we haven't gotten to that part. But he has seen, like, real-ass fucking Lugia from, like, under the sea, written on Lugia's back. And then apparently some baby Lugia, like, I don't remember much. Like, that was in season 5, I think. Like, in the Whirl Islands part, maybe. And I was in the 5th grade when that came out. And that was kind of when I started to, like, lose confidence in the anime. Because I was like, this makes no sense in all of Pokemon. So we're gonna see. I will update you when I finish this episode on whether or not Ash, like, recognized Lugia, or if this is another, like, therapy, what's that Pokemon kind of moment where he's freaking idiot. So bye for now. We'll see.